All right. How's it going, everybody? If you're new here, welcome in. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Rollshambo, the connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny. And if you're watching this right now, this is not a pre-recorded video. I see everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for joining me today to celebrate the road to 1,000 subscribers. And I've said it many times before, but in case you're new to the channel, about 6 months ago, I started this channel and I had a goal. The goal was really a litmus test of, should I even do this? Can I hit 1,000 subscribers in a year? Because I've made a YouTube channel before. About 10, 12 years ago, I had a YouTube channel and it sucked. And nobody watched it because it wasn't good. And it never sat well with me that I couldn't make it happen. But the difference was my level of commitment and finding something that I was truly passionate about talking about. And so here I am, 10, 12 years later, and 6 months into the rebirth of the Rollshambo channel, we're at 1,000 subscribers. And that means absolutely everything to me because it's nice seeing hard work equal results. So if you're a part of this tonight, thank you so very much. I see that we've got some good people here in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and shout them out. I see Kelly O'Neill, Top Dog, Mia Haruno. We got Vufam in the house. Awesome. Pretty Fly for a Knife Guy, Cheeto Bandito, Dave Brune, my man Marcos Gamma, Double D, Chad Fournier, Tori Casey, Mike Reese, Bluminati Ninja, Grumpy Grunt. How's it going, man? Gone Awry. Man, Michael Morgan. Thank you guys. Thank you all so much for being here today to celebrate this with me. Now, for those of you who haven't done so yet, please check out the link in the description below. That's how you can enter for the giveaway tonight. That's the link to my countdown video. It was a live stream as well. All you got to do to enter, comment in that video. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a moment to click on that link. I'll still be here when you get back, but just go to the link below. Make sure that you leave a comment. Can be anything. Try to make sure that it's appropriate so that YouTube doesn't flag it. That would be unfortunate. But yeah, anything you want. And we will be picking 3 winners today. 3. I've never done a multiple winner giveaway. Not yet. This is the 3rd giveaway that I've done on the channel. And it kind of snuck up on me. First couple months were a little slow, but I was getting the hang of things. And then bam, there it was. It just blew me away. So here we are. Today, I will be unveiling the knives as I give them away. But with each knife that I give away will come with a holographic Rollshambo EDC channel sticker. And here's the deal. I'm a big fan of things that are exclusive. So if you've gotten one of these before, hang on to it, because while I will be getting more channel stickers and different designs for channel stickers down the road, I will never do a holographic channel sticker again. I might do this same design in something like, a vinyl finish or, an aluminum finish. But as far as the holographic channel stickers go, after the giveaway, I will not be sending any more of these out to anybody for any reason. If you've got one, good on you. You were one of the few. And if you win tonight, you will be getting one of these with your knife. I only have one favor to ask, and that is that you give me until the end of December to send out these giveaway knives because I am still making content with some of them. And I also don't trust postage during the holiday season. I don't. So, also, the second place winner, along with their knife, will be getting this really awesome pack of Harry Potter playing cards from, what's it called? It's called Theory 11. If you haven't heard of Theory 11, I had to look them up. They make really cool themed playing cards. And shout out to Oreo Dave, who sent me 2 packs. And he said, hey, you can keep both. You can give them both away. Guys, Christmas cheer needs to be shared with all. So he sent me a Star Wars one and a Harry Potter one, and I looked them up and they're both awesome. I'm keeping the Star Wars one because honestly, it's just pretty badass. So Oreo Dave, thank you for contributing to the giveaway. We definitely appreciate you, man. Second place winner will be getting this to go along with their knife, and I'll unveil that later on in the live stream. I will be refreshing after each giveaway, so if someone clocks in a little bit late and there's still 2 more left and then they want to leave a comment, that's fine, because I'll be refreshing the comment picker. We're going to be using YouTube comment picker. You got to be at least 18 years or older. I'm not responsible if you're not. Got to give me an address somewhere in the United States to send it to, and you've got to send me an email within 7 days. Within 7 days is what you have to claim your winnings. And if you don't, then in the very next live stream, a week from today, I'll be picking someone else. 7 days, I think, is fair. So I'm going to go ahead and catch up a little bit with the chat because there's a lot going on. This is crazy. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Let's see what is going on. Gosh, there's a lot out there. Yes, shout out to Dave. Real quick, also shout out to Voodoo Garage on Instagram for sending me a couple of these custom knives. This one, I have to say, is probably my favorite of the 2 so far. This is the Sean O'Connell Mini Persian, or at least that's what Voodoo Garage told me, was that this is the Mini Persian, but when I looked it up, it looked like it might also be considered the Lean Persian. It's like a $1,600 knife. Full custom, full handmade, beautiful, beautiful titanium pocket clip. And I've already got my video recorded for this and the other one with my first impressions. I just need to edit it. But this is insanity. Something that I was told is that the wait list for these is 2 years. Imagine taking $1,600 of your hard-earned dollars, giving it to a knife maker, and then waiting 2 years. I can't wait 6 months for a pre-order, but people that buy these custom wait 2 years. Absolute insanity. Tell you what. Spider G says, congratulations on the 1K. Thank you. Definitely appreciate it, my man. Acid Test Kid says, okay, answered. I'm not sure what the question was. Oh, yeah. He was asking what knife I'm flicking. This is the Sean O'Connell Mini Persian. Such a cool knife. It's a front flipper. It's got a deployment hole. Everything on it is handmade. I want one of these. I don't have $1,600, but I want one of these. This is just absolute badassery. And here's the thing. It's not meant to be a safe queen. That's the cool thing about this knife is that when you go to Sean O'Connell's website, he talks about how these knives are meant to be used. And that's really, really cool to hear. However, I would love to see the person that opens up taped up boxes with a $1,600 handmade custom that they waited 2 years to get. That's kind of the kicker. It's not just how much it costs. It's also about how long you wait. That's a long time. Now you can buy some Sean O'Connell knives from Recon 1. They're not necessarily customized. I think they are still custom. I think they are still handmade, but for example, they don't look like this. They don't have this Loki green color, which I think is really, really badass. And you know me, normally I like a backspacer. This one has barrel spacers, but I don't care. This knife is wonderful. Let's see here. Mia says, stick 'em with the pointy end. Yeah, why not? That's a lot of pointy end. Something that I really like, this being my first full custom that I've held in my hand, is I look at the lines on the bevel. If I can get it to focus. Come on now, focus. You see how the bevel widens near the tip? That's how you know that bevel was done by hand, because when it's put through a machine, you get this perfect bevel that's way too thin and way too close to the edge, and it goes all the way to the tip, and it's just it's robotically perfect, but it's not a good cutting edge. That's why when you sharpen a knife yourself, it lays back that bevel, even if you're staying as close to the factory edge as possible, but it's also easier to sharpen. It cuts better once that happens. And so that's really cool. The finish on here is great. I can't wait to do my Grail or Garbage on this, and yes, I will. It's a little unfair to do it on a $1,600 knife, but I will do my best to stay as unbiased as possible and look at it for what it is, which is a functional piece of art that is supposed to be carried. But I think that it would take a lot of people a good amount of courage to carry this, knowing full well that even if they could afford to replace it, they would have to wait 2 years. It's nuts. All right. So let's catch up with the chat. Moose Duty says, "What's up, blade lovers? Congrats again, Roll." Thank you, man. I definitely appreciate it. Man, we got a lot of people in the chat. I'm not used to seeing the chat just blow up like this. That's cool. So, some other cool things recently. I guarantee that you haven't seen this yet. And if you check out the logo, your eyes do not deceive you. This is the second Best Techman model that's being released here soon. I was lucky enough to be included in the group that got one to put up reviews and get links, and they were cool enough to actually give me a discount link. So I'm really excited to talk about this one. I don't have my content recorded on it yet. This came in yesterday, and I'll give you a bit of a teaser. It's an axis lock. I don't know if they can legally call it an axis lock, but it's a crossbar style lock, and it's cool. Best Techman did a wonderful job with their Dundee, and this one is being released to the general public a week from today on the 14th. So keep an eye out for my video on this guy, because I'm still gathering my thoughts on it. But should be a good one. And if you end up liking it, I've got a discount code, so that's cool too. Another company, another Chinese-made company reached out to me, and they make this knife for under 50 bucks, and the action is incredible. It's running on ceramic bearings at like a $43 price tag, which is pretty damn good. So I've got a video for this in the works as well. K Mason says, "Looks like a really nice hollow grind." I'm assuming you're talking about the Best Techman, which they gave one of these away. It is a good hollow grind, and it's very sharp. It cuts really well from the factory, which is nice. But they gave one of these away in a contest of naming, because they just had a model name and number, and so this is actually called the Ronin, not the Ronin like Ronin, not the Rogue Samurai, but the Ronin. I'll have to look up the definition again, but the Ronin. So far, it's passing the eye test. I'll tell you that much. It's definitely passing the eye test. But I do have some things that I want to talk about on this. K Mason says, "Was the first model also a crossbar lock?" This is the only, no, the first model was the Dundee, not a crossbar lock, just a basic liner lock, but they did a really good job on that liner lock though. The liner lock on the Dundee is very well done, and I'm not usually big on liner locks, but that one was crowned, very comfortable, easy to access, easy to engage and disengage, and it also had some really good action as well. Oreo Dave says, "Yeah, discount link status." We're getting there, man. We're one by one, companies are starting to email me back, which is pretty damn cool. Shout out to Best Tech, by the way, for being one of those that started emailing me back. And Eric Outer from Outer Limitless, his EDC channel is really good. He's the Best Tech USA rep. So great guy, great channel, lots of good advice for me. and he keeps your boys supplied with best tech knives to show off and to talk about. So that's really cool too. K Mason says CEO style with Tanto blade. Interesting. Yeah, you know, I'm not typically a CEO style blade kind of guy, but I really like this one. I don't want to give away too much because I still want people to watch my video on it. But that will be coming out soon. And the cool thing about this company is that they also need help with the name, but they're not trying to name the model. They're trying to rebrand. They don't have a name at the moment, which is a shame because I have a feeling a lot of people pass up on this knife because they just see the initials of the company and they're like, yeah, no, cheap name must not be good. I'm going to withhold my opinion. Teaser, I've got a video on this coming out very soon, and I definitely suggest that if you're in the market for a sub $50 knife, this should be a contender. I'm very impressed with this one. What else? Oh yeah. The Mini Persian wasn't the only custom that was sent to me for review recently. You know how I like overbuilt knives? Check this guy out. This is the definition of insanity. Would you look at it? Just look at it. Quoting Bees Blades, if you didn't know. Look at this knife. This is what Voodoo Garage considers a semi-custom because there is some CNC work that was done on this. But honestly, if it's the same man behind the CNC machine that's behind the hammer on the forge, and you know, if you use a machine to get a better result, I still think that that's pretty damn custom. This guy is the Eric Luther Orphan. Also a $1,000 plus knife. Absolutely bonkers. It's got a Spanish razor style tip, big old cleaver style blade with these awesome frag pattern handle scales. Like, this knife is massive too. So you know I like big knives. Look at this knife. Look at it. If Sweeney Todd had a knife, this would be it. And here's the thing. It's bigger than the Thunrar. You know, I never thought that I'd be getting into a size competition with the Thunrar, but it's bigger than this knife. Absolutely bonkers. Chad Fournier says, nice blade shape on the best tech. Kyle Connor's in the house. How's it going, Kyle? He says, been waiting for more roll code. Discount code? Because discount codes are definitely coming. Grumpy Grunt says CH knives. I know that they make some good budget knives. They're kind of in the realm of Tucson, I believe. I haven't really looked into them a whole lot, but I've been wanting to get some Tucsons recently, and I've been wanting to try out more of the other brands that provide a better bang for the buck, because there's some really good knives out there. Bluminati says QIISG or something like that. So I was trying not to show this because they are going to be changing their branding soon. But the initials of the company are QYGMGS. It's atrocious, and they know it's atrocious. But I promise you, if they had just left this blade blank, they probably would have seen more success. And they are in the process of rebranding for that reason. They're in the same area as Civivi and a lot of those other companies in the City of Knives in China. So, you know, they've got some stiff competition there, but I'm honestly very impressed with this knife so far. When I do my video on this, we are going to actually open up a poll and see if people want to help give branding ideas to the company. Because when I was talking to the rep, he said, yeah, we are rebranding. And we need ideas. Do you have any ideas? And I sent him a few of my ideas, and I said, you know what would be better? How about I just ask the community? What better for branding advice than the people that would be considering buying your knife in the first place, right? Nuts. But I think that's the best way to go. So they agreed with me, and in the video for this knife, I'm going to ask for your help for brand name ideas. And who knows? Maybe if your name gets picked, I can have the company do something special, like a sponsored giveaway, something like that. That would be pretty cool. Todd Carr says, that is an awesome chunker. It's insanity. There's no other definition for what this is. And here's the deal. I haven't seen this knife on other channels. It's possible that they've done reviews on them, but these are really niche knife makers that make it extremely difficult to not only get your hands on them, but to also find content on them. And so I'm excited just to have the opportunity to talk about it. This guy, I don't necessarily know what the use case scenario would be, like lopping off limbs, decapitation, finger dismemberment. You don't want your finger in the path of travel of this blade, I'll tell you what. But it's really, really cool. And I'm trying to figure out the use for that hole at the end of the blade, because it's not a deployment hole. I'm trying to figure out if maybe this is like I was going to say a barber implementation, but it's not exactly a straight razor. Crazy design, but it's really, really cool. Gone Awry says, are y'all talking about QYG MYG? I think it's QYG MSG, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, this guy, we're going to do our best to help rename and rebrand this company, because that logo is not getting the job done, and they know it. And they know it. I didn't have to tell them. They told me. So when I release my video for this, we're going to ask the community for ideas, and I'm going to see if I can get a prize lined up if one of the community members' suggestions gets picked, because I think that'd be pretty cool. Double D says, I bit on the Blade HQ BRS Navajo half off deal, and I really like it. Had my reservations, but love the action and build. You know, BRS makes such good balisongs and butterfly knives. I know a few tricks. I'm not very good. I've injured myself several times because I've got sausage fingers and my dexterity is average at best. But I have tried out one of their folding knives before, and I'll actually bring it out. And here's the deal. I like this knife. I just can't recommend it. This is my BRS Kopesh. It's got the shredded or marbled carbon fiber with the titanium on the handle scales, titanium backspacer, M390 blade, crazy blade shape, and also super crazy thumb stud. I mean, but I've got some issues with this knife. First and foremost, it's a liner lock. It should be a bolster lock. Everything is set up for this to be a bolster lock, and they didn't do it. And I don't know why, because they're titanium liners and titanium end caps, and they're already inset to the handle scales, and a bolster lock would have been tougher. And given the size of this knife, given the scope of what we have here, a bolster lock would have made far more sense. And they didn't do it. They're like, screw that. We're doing a liner lock. On top of that, this liner lock itself is not easy to access or comfortable to access. It's just not. There's not enough of it peeking out, so you really have to dig your thumb in there, and then it hits this uncomfortable side jimping. And so if you fidget with this, you will inevitably get tired and sore. But the thumb ramp is really great for doing Spidey drops, I guess is what you would call it, like a gravity drop. So it is a fun knife, very sharp. They did a good job on the M390. I like it. I like the knife. I do, it's really hard for me to recommend this specific one. Now, because we don't know what OEM BRS uses when they make their folding knives, we don't know. I have a hard time saying that it's the OEM's fault for things like not making this a bolster lock when they should have, because I have a feeling that they're just making what BRS tells them to make when they send them the design schematics. And because BRS specializes in making USA-made balisongs, they may not have had the know-how to really capitalize on their folding knives. And you can tell because when you look at their folding knives, they don't really keep a lot of the same design cues. It's like they're testing the market. Let's send out this design and see how it does. We'll send out this design and see how it does. And then they never commit to anything. And so what I would like to see BRS do is commit to some design language. That's what people recognize, and that's what's going to keep people coming back for more, is committing to some certain design language. And I do like this knife. I think it's a beautiful looking knife, but it's got some design flaws that I'm just not okay with. Matthew Russell says, put paracord in it and it'll be a pull apart for that giant blade. We're talking about the Eric Luther Designs Orphan. They should call it the Widowmaker, because if you close this blade on yourself and you're married, life insurance. But it's nuts. I'm so glad that knives like this exist. And here's the thing: I've been fuller flicking this thing, but it is actually a regular flipper and it works quite well. It's massive. Lizette and Mark Gonzalez says, blade in hand EDC. You want to know what my suggestion to them was? And I've been trying to get a manufacturer to pick up on this name because I like it. But my suggestion to them was Ether Tactical. Ether refers to the space in the clouds above the atmosphere. There's a better definition. Let me find this real quick. What's the actual definition? But I thought Ether Tactical would be cool. They could use the E for a design logo, free up some of that spot on the blade so that you don't have a massive billboard of letters. But Ether is the clear sky, the upper regions of air beyond the clouds. So that was my suggestion. I said, Ether Tactical. No one's taking it, but you should do it. And they're like, we'd love to hear from your community. One day someone's going to take that suggestion. And who knows? If the channel goes far enough, maybe that will be the name of my company one day. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to review some knives that just came in at some of our favorite retailers. Boom. There we go. 69XXX Fun, best adult dating website. No way. Alrighty. So you've made it when the dating websites make their way onto your live streams. We're going to go ahead and we're going to remove. So this actually addresses something that I haven't addressed yet, and that is the need for moderators on my live streams. So I'm going to go ahead and pick some moderators. Oreo Dave, big supporter of the channel. I'm making you a moderator. Please protect the chat from the vicious dating websites that want to steal all of my viewers. Thank you. Top Dog is a moderator on other channels as well. Top Dog, I nominate you to be a moderator. And then finally, if they're still here, is Grumpy Grunt still here? Because I think Grumpy would make an excellent moderator as well. By the way, quick reminder in case you came into the live stream a little bit late, make sure you click on the link in the description for the giveaway. I need you to comment on that video. We do have more time. What I'm doing right now is just giving people enough time to get in, check the description, leave a comment on that video. And if you have to dip out, I totally understand. You have up to 7 days to claim the prize if you win one of the giveaway knives. So if you don't know, now you know. Check the description of this live, click on the link for the giveaway video, leave a comment in there, and you're good. All right. Top Dog says Grumpy Grunt is here. Where is Grumpy Grunt? Ah, there he is, Mr. Grumpy Grunt. I nominate you, sir. If you would like to help me keep the chat clean, I would appreciate it. Oreo Dave's over here checking IDs. But what if you have a really good fake? Does anyone else still feel proud when they go out to dinner and they order some alcohol and the waiter or waitress still checks your ID? I went out to dinner with my wife not too long ago and I ordered alcohol and they didn't check my ID and I was offended. It's like, listen here, I'm 32. Check my ID. Ghana Rice says, Grumpy is probably heating up his ramen. Seems like a good excuse to me. Illuminati Ninja says, the Enforcers. It's true. All right, so let's see what DLT has in stock. Looks like they still have the 20 CV pair of threes. That's pretty cool. And for their drops, I can't believe that the Spartan Harsey folders are still available, because I know that these are not always available, and these have been available now for a hot minute. Looks like the Chavez TAK is still available. That's pretty nifty. And that's kind of what they've got for their drops. I'm not seeing anything too exciting for their drops. They don't have huge lists. If you like fixed blades, they've got a couple fixed blades coming out. The Bravo 1 LT in MagnaCut. If you like fixed blade, there you go. In MagnaCut, no less. No surprise here. Looks like the Cyborg Jack actually sold out. Nice. And then the F22 Kickstop and the number 81 Smooth Yellow Rose. I'm not really a slip joint guy, but I'll say this: the Jack Wolf knives are making me consider it. I might have to get myself a Jack Wolf Knives knife and a slip. What else do they got? Let's check out their new stuff. And because it's fun to do it this way, let's do price. We'll go by the most expensive. The Rockstead Dawn ZDP in Desert Ironwood. $3,800 for this fixed blade. Oh my lord. You know what? Aside from being a knife for $3,800, it better also make my coffee in the morning. Good news with Sezzle, only $96 a month. Or per payment. No, those are monthly payments. Dear Lord. Looks like it's ZDP 189 at 67 HRC. I mean, that's no surprise. Rockstead does a really, really good job with their ZDP 189. If anyone else's heart was broken when they saw Metal Complex break off the tip of his Rockstead, I cringed so hard. It's not something that is going to sharpen out very easily, but now he has a story forever. Oreo Dave says Cyborg Jack is nice. I'm not a slip joint guy, but that knife is making me consider it. The Jack Wolf slip joint knives are definitely making me consider it. Oreo Dave says, I like the Chavez clip too. Only knife you know sitting in a pocket. All right. So I'm not really a fixed blade guy. I do like some fixed blades, but I'm not really a fixed blade guy. Let's see what else they have. The Heretic Custom Medusa carbon fiber inlay, abalone inlay, bronze hardware polished blade, $1,800. The Rockstead Nihon in ZDP 189 with artificial marble handle. So another company that I've always wanted a knife from is Olamic Cutlery. I don't know if this happened to you guys, but the channel that is probably one of the most responsible for me becoming a knife enthusiast is Nick Shabazz. And one of the very first Nick Shabazz videos I watched was on the Olamic Cutlery Whippersnapper. And so consequently, I would love to have a knife from this company. I hear that the action is unrivaled. I'm not sure about this design on the handle scales at $1,500, but it is different and you don't see people with these. I still think it's a really, really cool knife. Am I wrong? Can you actually modify that thumb stud to go up and down that slot? Craziness. It's an S90V. It's a cutlass style blade. The blade finish is satin. Looks like right hand only tip up frame lock, 5 ounces. This knife looks a lot lighter than that, but it's 5 ounces. You can get these for cheaper. This specific one's going to cost you about $1,500. Let's see. Now, if you like weird blade shapes, and I kind of do, this one, the Olamic Cutlery Busker Vampo, the polished blade, Japanese laser art, $1,300. How would you even begin to sharpen that? I mean, you'd have to have like a sharpening rod. Any stone that you try to sharpen that on, you're gonna curve the stone. I have a feeling. I just want to know why, but why? And most of the time, the answer is because they could. Is that good enough? I don't know. It's $1,300 though. M390 on this one, titanium, weighs just shy of 3 ounces, frame lock, 6 inches overall. It's not a big guy. Clip side on it looks good though. I really like the way that they did that design right there. That looks pretty good. Deployment oblong hole. Super simple pocket clip, but they got the ball bearing on the pocket clip, which is really good for in and out of the pocket action. I'm going to catch up a little bit with the chat. Todd Carr says, Mini got started on Shabazz. Yeah, man. Shabazz opened up the enthusiast world. I started watching more and more, and then I said, you know what? There's a lot of other channels that have really good content too, and then it was down the rabbit hole for me, and I never looked back. Spider G says, BTE blades beyond the ether for that company branding. I like that. That's pretty good. K Mason says, I was also about ready to pull the trigger on the Cyborg Jack, but then they sold out of the toxic green camo carbon fiber. It's just how it goes, man. Sometimes we wait and we wait a little too long and the spec that we want just disappears. That's the worst. And then you're left waiting and waiting and waiting. And then 6 months later they say, just kidding, we're not making any more in that spec again. But here's another version of the same model in a spec that you don't like. That's frustrating, but it does happen. Oreo Dave says, I found Metal Complex, then Shabazz. Thought Nick was doing a character with that voice. Nick's voice is awesome. He's got that like Boston, New York, New Jersey type accent going on, which is nuts. And I know on the East Coast what I just said by mixing them all together is blasphemy because they can all clearly tell their accents apart. But if you're from, say, the Pacific Northwest or the west side of the country, all of those accents sound very similar, and so I have a hard time placing them apart. Josh Branson says, for that price, you better be able to move that stud. Hell, it better move itself for that kind of money. I agree. Alexa, Move the thumb stud. That would be nice. Gary Gorosky says, I have 2 Olamics. They're fantastic knives. You see, you're not helping me. I'm looking at these knives that cost like $1,300–$1,400. And I'm feeling a little enabled. Illuminati Ninja says, or Texas. Todd Carr says, I remember when GRE did those Goner Ride. Definitely a great reason not to buy those eBay sales that sell knives by the pound. I've always wanted to get a massive box of knives though, because the people that pack those knives together, they have to value them very low because they don't know. They're not usually the knife enthusiasts. They don't know how to pick through those, and there could be some gems in there. Most of them are probably going to be, $10, $15, $20 knives that nobody cared about leaving behind. But I have heard a lot of stories of people that buy those lots that have like 100 knives, 150 knives, and they go through and they might only find 1 or 2 or 3, but those 2 or 3 knives completely outvalue everything else in that box combined. And sometimes that's the only way you can get some of these really rare discontinued knives from like 10 years ago is by going through those lots. So I've considered it. I think it would be fun to do a video on that, and one of these days I might have to do that. Josh Branson says, I don't own a single slip joint, but I did get to handle all of the Jack Wolfs at a knife meetup, and they are legit. They look legit, man. All right, so I got to get out of the $1,000 range here. Before I do want to talk about one company that always catches my eye, and that's attention to detail. There's something about this knife that I really, really like. Maybe it's the texturing on the handle scales or the fact that the back end seems to be slanted. Kind of reminds me of Strider. I really like the texturing on those scales though. It's an S35 VN for just shy of $1,200. Titanium, obviously. Black wash blade, drop point, 3 3/4 inch long blade. It's not a small knife, but the attention to detail knives. What I want to know is how can they demand this price point? It's got to be in the details. It's got to be. Are they hand built? What's going on here? This batch of Mark IIs are made of premium materials, several unique handle configurations to suit your style, equally suited to EDC or collection. I still want to know why it's $1,000 plus knife. I got to know, are they handmade? Are they semi-custom? Are they custom? I got to know. If you know the answer to that question, why these knives are $1,000 plus knives, shout it out. I want to know. McSquirgle says, the Great Eastern Cutlery knives are the real deal. People say you can't get them, but you absolutely can with a little preparation. Spider G says, sometimes get the lost and found knife boxes. I'm telling you, I'm going to do a video on it. And it's going to be me digging with like Carhartt style gloves into a bin of questionable knives. We'll see. All right, let's get out of the $1,000 range. We're going to skip down to the 3rd page here real quick. DLT always has all of the Medford Praetorians. They say they're new, but we've seen them. So here we go with the Olamic Cutlery knives that are a bit more attainable. They're still really expensive at this almost $800 price range, but the Olamic Cutlery Swish, the Rainmaker, and I love the Rainmaker with the harpoon style blade. One of these days I'm going to get one just like this with the Timascus, with the Timascus hardware and the inlay. That just looks beautiful to me. Absolutely love it. M390 titanium, 4-inch blade. It's not a little guy. It's still very expensive at $800. It's nuts. So, going to check on something real quick. All right. All right, guys. So we are about 45 minutes in. And I think that now is a good time to do the very first giveaway knife. So we're going to go third place up to first place. And if you haven't done so yet, check the link in the description of this video. It's going to be the very first line of text. Click on that link, comment on the video it takes you to, and then come back. I'll give that about 2 minutes, and then we will start the giveaway for the third place knife on the giveaway. Dave Willis says, hey everybody, my username was Big Daddy, now it's just me. I remember Big Daddy, you've commented on several of my videos. Thank you, sir. Good to see you here in the chat. We got Beefer Baron in the chat as well, and Will Blake says, hey mate, congratulations on the milestone. Shouldn't you have a dono link or something now? It's coming. We're not there yet. So I have to have a certain amount of watched hours as well as 1,000 subscribers. So we met the first one. The second one is probably like a day or two away. I'm not concerned with that. Today is not about collecting donations, although any donations are always appreciated. Today is about giving back to the community of awesome people who've supported me to 1,000 subscribers in 6 months. And so that's what's important today. Today is a celebration of this community. And in the next live stream, I'll probably have monetized donations or something like that, which are going to be completely optional. But if people want to support the channel, I won't stop them. Todd Carr says, my grail would probably be around 1K or more, full custom Demco 8020 in MagnaCut with about 64 HRC with both micarta and titanium scales. And yes, it would be a user. I like that. Everyone knows I'm not a huge fan of the 8020.5, but I would desperately love to get my hands on an 8020. The 8020 is right up my alley. I just don't like the price on the Oz 10A Grivery 8020.5. 8020 or an 8020S. Would love to get my hands on one of those. Gonarai says, I let 115 of Jevin videos play the other day. Setting up a long playlist can help. K Mason says, has been anything more than 8022? Great question. Josh Branson says, I hate he has access to the kind of knives he does and don't have enough respect to even learn how to pronounce them or anything other than calling them rare or collectible. Yeah, cool. So, guys, it's time to do, we're going to pull the winner of the third place knife. So, just to show you that this is legitimate and that up until we actually pull the comments, it's going to be accurate. So you feel free to check out the link. We're going to go to comment picker. I'll refresh comment picker. We're going to filter duplicate users. We'll include replies to comments in case anyone's comment was a reply. I'm not going to filter that out. We have to do a little bit of math here. 3 plus 3 is 6. Then we're going to get comments. So the first knife that I'm giving away, the third place prize, is the knife that I like to refer to as the QSP Hinderer XM18. This is the QSP Pangolin, a full-size knife, just shy of a 4-inch blade. Really, really great ergonomics, feels good in the hand, has not been carried by me. I have checked it out. I haven't ranked it yet. I do have a ranking video on the way for this guy. If you win this, you will also get channel sticker. It'll come in box in brand new condition. And if you would like, I would also be happy to put a mirror finish on the edge if that's something that you're interested in. So if you win this knife, feel free to request that. Make sure you shoot me an email if you win, so that I can go ahead and get your shipping information and make sure that everything is good to go. Chris S. in the house says, what did I miss? Chris, we're about to give away the third place knife, which is the QSP Pangolin. All right, everybody. If someone wants to give me a drum roll, please. We've polled the comments, and the winner of the third place knife today is Brent Barney. Brent Barney says, congrats on getting 1,000 subs. Thank you, Brent. You are the winner of the third place knife, the QSP Pangolin. To go along with that, you'll be getting one of the few remaining holographic channel stickers, which I will not be making any more of. After this giveaway, these will not be available. I will make more stickers, but these will no longer be available. Those who have them will have them, and nobody else will have them. All right, so congratulations to Brent Barney, a winner of the QSP Pangolin. All right, I see we got Jeremy Nidro in the house. How's it going, Jeremy? Todd Carr says, Rollshambo, we were talking about Crazy Russian Hacker. Crazy Russian Hacker does have some pretty entertaining videos. I've watched a few of them. He does some really good gadget videos. I've found quite a few gadget videos from him, but I don't know very much about his channel. All right, so we're going to wait a little bit, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and poll for the second place winner, and we'll unveil that knife here shortly. Congratulations to Brent. And Brent, you have 7 days to get back to me. Real quick, let's check out Blade HQ. And I'm doing this live because I actually haven't had time today to go through the websites that I usually check. And so we're doing this together. I haven't seen this one before. This is the Fox Chillin' F8 by the Quintessential EDC. Or they're calling it the Quintessential EDC. $159. This blade shape reminds me of the Vosteed Nightshade. Looks like a liner lock, G10. $156. I'm not sure how much I mean, it's N690. N690 is a decent steel, but this is one of those that I don't think I would actually look for, because I don't believe that, based on the manufacturer and the materials and what I'm seeing, I'm not sure if I would consider this to be worth that. I'm having a hard time getting to that $156 price point. Wire pocket clip, deployment hole. It is a Vox design, so we know that the designer knows what they're doing. But at $156, what I would have rather have seen is a better blade steel, or just better materials. We can get better materials from good designers for this price. I do like Vox designs though. I'd say at the $100 price point, this one might be one to check out. I'm having a hard time getting there at its current price point. What else they got though? Let's see. New arrivals. It's always good to see when a new arrival is sold out. The Manix 2 Sprint Run in brown G10. CPM 15V. I've never had experience with CPM 15V. Shout out in the chat. Have you used a knife with that blade steel? How was your experience? How well did it perform? Was it a tough steel? Was it like a tool steel? Was it super brittle with a lot of edge retention, like say Maximate? I gotta know. 15V. I don't know anything about that blade steel. It's in brown G10. I'm just not a fan of brown G10. I guess it doesn't really matter, because when you're holding it, you're covering it anyways, and it'll never look dirty. If you work in like a sewer or something, perfect knife. You might lose it if you drop it. But if you work for the city sewage system, that's the knife. Benchmade 580S Barrage, spring assisted axis lock. Interesting. I'm not a fan of the partial serrations, but I know that some people really like that for cutting rope cutting cloth material. 4.2 ounces, 154 cm, $109. Benchmade, yeah. That's not bad. Ooh, the QSP Hedgehog. Now, we were talking about the Jack Wolf knives slip joints. QSP has been coming out with some knives that are really, really interesting to me. The QSP Hedgehog is one of them. This is a $57 slip joint knife, blue denim micarta. I really, really like that blade shape. I think that this is obviously a user knife with a very user-friendly blade. There's no shenanigans here. You know, obviously it's not going to be a fidget monster, but I think that this is probably going to be the cardboard destroyer. It's in 14 C28N cleaver style blade. The handle length is just shy of 4 inches. Blade length just shy of 3 inches. So it's going to be nice and legal for most people to carry. It is made in China, of course. It is QSP. That's cool. So if you don't have like super expensive slip joint money, this might be one to check out. I've looked at these on other retail websites and they're sold out. So if you're looking for a good slip joint, this might be one to check out for sure. Hey, Mr. Duty's Daggers in the house. How's it going, Kev? Right as I go and catch up with my chat too. It seems like I'm missing everything. Todd Carr says, those 15V Mannix went in seconds. I believe it. I haven't seen any other Spydercos in 15V, but if they are doing one sprint run in it, I guarantee that they'll do another. The question is it going to be on the Para 3, the Paramilitary 2, the Yojimbo? We just don't know. We do not know. But I guarantee you, based on how well the sales performed for the sprint run of that Mannix 2, I'd be willing to bet we'll get another sprint run in 15V. The question is, what model? Might be the Paramilitary 2. I wouldn't be surprised. Double D says the Wee Thug XL. Yes. Yes. A million times yes. The Wee Thug XL is one that I've been looking at heavily. It's $342, so it's not cheap, but it is a bigger version of a knife that everybody loved, the Wee Thug. And the one that I would want, of course, is out of stock, and they had the price reduced down to $299 too. I really love the brushed look on titanium. I think that brushed titanium is an underutilized finish for knives. It looks so good. It's very wear resistant. It continuously looks good, and when the wear does show, it still looks good. That's fantastic to me. And the finish is probably one of my favorites. CPM 20 CV, titanium, just shy of 5 ounces, tip up carry, frame lock, obviously. Yeah, it's a Christensen design, Matthew Christensen. I probably got his name wrong there. The one that I am looking at is another QSP knife going for roughly the same price, and it's still available on Blade HQ. I checked it out earlier. The QSP Rhino. Spoiler alert, I have one of these coming in from the Apex Pass Around group. It might take about a month to get to me because there are other people in front of me, but they've got these, and these are insane. $358, but this is probably one of the most premium QSP knives that we've seen. And Blade HQ has all the variants. Now, if you can't tell, I like purple. It is what it is. If you don't, I understand. But they make it in purple. It has a Mokatai clip, Mokatai backspacer, and the jimping. And I'm going to call it, it's kind of like a corkscrew style jimping along the spine. That's nuts. I love it when designers and manufacturers take design risks, because that tells me that they're not just filling a template. They've got someone that cares about the design of the knife behind it. And it's a risk because the knife community might look at it and say, who cares? Or they might look at it and shut up and take my money. We don't know until we get it. And we don't know unless they take those chances and they take those risks. And I think that the QSP Rhino is one that they took a lot of risks on, and other retailers have sold out of these. The purple one specifically seems to be selling out everywhere. Blade HQ is the only one I've seen so far that still has it. it looks good. I prefer a little bit deeper color on the purple, but if I had $358 right now, this would be one that I'd be looking at for sure. If purple's not your color, they do have the regular bead blasted titanium with the Mokatai backspacer and clip. And guys, that just looks so good. It just looks so good. And it's got the pocket clip that I really like too, with the ball on the end. Perfect for going in and out of the pocket. I'm excited to get my hands on one for review. A little sad that I'll have to wait to buy one. But this one's on my list for sure, and it's coming in. It just might take about a month or so. Looks like we got Michael Morgan in the house. How's it going? Cheeto Bandito says, what do you think of the Finch knives? Well, Finch was one of the first companies to actually send me some knives to review. I did some videos on their products three-ish months ago, maybe 4 months ago. I love their action. Finch uses QSP as an OEM, and so you get all of the goodies that you get from, you get all the great stuff that you get from QSP. So you get solid lockup, good action, a good quality fit and finish. But you also get things from them that you just don't see a whole lot of elsewhere. I love the fact that Finch does a modern traditional style knife, and I think that they're highly underrated. Their company is very generous. They're always giving to the knife community, giving back, and that's awesome. They got back to me and they were willing to send me knives to review when I had like 250 subscribers and I was lucky to get 100 views on a video. So the fact that they are so willing to support the community has a warm, fuzzy spot in my heart, and I definitely like those guys. I think they're great. And I do like the quality of their knives. So now is the time where we go over and we pick the second place winner. I'm going to give it a few minutes for anybody that just hopped in the chat. If you haven't done so yet, click on the link in the description, go over to the video in that link, leave a comment. That's how you enter. And in 2 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and pull the second place winner. Now, you might be wondering, what does the second place winner win? Well, it's funny. I actually picked the Finch comment because second place is going to win a Finch model. Is it the 19? It's the Finch model 1920. Gosh, it's this knife. This one hasn't been carried at all. Great carry knife. It's going to fit well in a fifth pocket. I do have a video up on this. This is another one that I actually do need to do a grail or garbage ranking on, however. 154 cm steel, olive wood handle scales, flipper with, honestly, some of the best action. It feels like an automatic when you press the button. And I say button because this flipper tab just bang. That's good. It's got a spay point blade. And I believe these go for somewhere in the realm of $125 brand new, and this one pretty much is. I haven't really carried it. I did review it. I have held it, and I have fidgeted with it a lot. It'll come with the box. It'll come with a channel sticker. Limited edition, guys. Limited edition. If you like stickers, I'm not making any more of these. And it's also going to be coming with, thanks to Oreo Dave, it's going to be coming with the Harry Potter themed playing cards. Brand new, still in the plastic. Still got that brand new packaging smell. And these are cool. I looked up the designs. These are just so freaking cool. Theory 11, check them out. If you're a bit of a nerd like I am, you're going to want to check out Theory 11. They're the ones that make these playing cards. Again, Oreo Dave, thank you so much for donating some Christmas cheer to the giveaway. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time that we pick the winner of the second place knife. And remember, you can actually win twice, because I'm going to refresh everything. So I'm going to refresh over here on the giveaway video. Ceramic ball bearings. And check the link if you want to check the link. We're going to refresh comment picker. We're doing a lot of math today. We're going to refresh the page. We'll do it again. Why not? Bang. Filter duplicate users. Include replies to comments. 5 plus 3 is 8. Get the comments. We've got 81 comments. So you have a 1 in 81 chance of winning. All right. Shooting Smoke says, Theory 11 makes some excellent playing cards. This is my first time experiencing them. I got the Star Wars version. I believe this is the dark side. Super excited for these. Super excited. All right, guys. Let's see. Winner of the second place knife is... We've got Greg Vanderlip. Greg says, just subbed. Congrats on passing 1K. Greg, welcome in. As you know, I didn't require anyone to sub because I want everyone that subscribes to enjoy the videos and enjoy the content. So thank you. The fact that you subscribe means that you do. I hope you enjoy the channel, and I hope you enjoy your new Finch model. I believe it's the 1926. I'll have to double check. I feel terrible that it's skipping my mind, but this is a great knife. I know you're going to enjoy it. Please make sure that you send me an email. You've got 7 days to claim your Finch Knives 1926 and this badass set of Theory 11 playing cards with your utterly exclusive channel sticker. So congratulations, Greg Vanderlip. Shoot me an email. My email is in the description, and I will send you your giveaway winnings. Again, guys, some of these knives I still need to make some videos on. Please give me to the end of the month to send these out. And then not only will you get the knife, you'll also get the video for it. So you'll know my full thoughts and opinions. I'm not giving away anything that I think is a bad knife, by the way. These aren't just knives that I just happen to dislike or anything like that. These are all quality pieces. I have other knives that I don't necessarily think are that great that I could have given away, but I decided not to because if it's not something I like, how can I give it to somebody else? So, Greg Vanderlip, congratulations. Top Dog says, congrats, Greg. Please email rollshambo.edc@gmail.com. There's my Enforcer squad. Thank you, Top Dog. Appreciate that for putting that in the chat. All right. Tom Brown, thank you. The model 1929. I've dishonored my family. I spaced that model name and it just... 1929, it stands for the park rangers in the Grand Teton National Parks, I believe. But really, really good EDC knife. 154 cm, olive wood handle scales, excellent flipper action, a true bolster lock. And for those of you who don't know why I'm such a fan of bolster locks, it's because you get the best of both worlds between a liner lock and a frame lock. Frame locks are sturdier than liner locks when it comes to use because the frame is what's stopping the blade from collapsing. A liner lock is different because it's easier to flip open. You don't have to worry about putting pressure on the handle scales. It's easier to flip open, but it's less sturdy because instead of that weight being distributed onto the frame of the knife, it's being distributed onto a liner that's lodged into the handle scale, which is much more likely to fail under pressure. A bolster lock is basically a frame lock with a piece of material going over that frame. And so just like with the liner lock, you don't have to worry about your hand putting too much pressure on that lock bar. You get all of the solidarity of a frame lock with all of the effortlessness of a liner lock. And that's great. Bolster locks are by far and away my favorite locking mechanism for a regular knife locking mechanism. All right, I'm starting to get a little hoarse. And no, this is not vodka, this is water. Maybe next time it should be vodka. All right. We'll go ahead and catch up here with the chat. All right, so as you can see, I moved on over to Knife Center because I wanted to talk about something. I've gotten a lot of crap from Demco 80/20.5 fans. One of the first videos that I released is also one of my most popular videos, and it's where I say before you buy the Demco 80/20.5, and people excoriated me for my opinion on it, which is not that the Demco 80/20.5 is a bad knife, because it's not. It's not a bad knife, it's a bad price, because you get Grivery handle scales, which is, you know, sub G10 levels of sturdiness and resistance, and Oz 10, which is, well, it's not a bad blade steel, it's very usable. It's also not worth $150. What you're paying for is the shark lock, and most people know that. My problem is that in order to make it worth its original price tag, you have to modify it, but that then takes it beyond the original price tag. And in response, a lot of people said, well, I have the 3V. I've got the 3V 80/20.5, right? Well, let's look at this. The Demco 80/20.5, if I was to buy one, the one that I would get would be the titanium one. They're $325 and they're at Knife Center. So $325 gets you titanium and 3V and that shark lock. That's a little bit easier to swallow because you're getting more premium materials and you're getting the locking mechanism, which is so popular. However, you can also get, if you scroll all the way down here, you can get the 3V with the Grivery handle scales for $175. Now here's the deal. I do not like Grivery. I feel like it's a bad handle scale material for this knife because it's slick. Even when it's textured, it's harder for me to hold on to. And the handle scales themselves are very thin. So I wanted to talk about this because, again, I don't believe that the 80/20.5 is a bad knife. I just don't necessarily like the materials for that price tag. And so if you follow that level of thought, you might say, well, maybe I should just drop the 325 and get the one with titanium and 3V, right? Wrong. You can get custom aftermarket titanium handle scales for the 80/20.5 for anywhere in the realm of $60 to $120. So instead of dropping $325, what I'm telling you that you should do is pick up one of these 3V models with the Grivery handle scales, and then pick up some titanium aftermarket scales. Because if you get the aftermarket ones, often you can also get the ones that are a bit thicker. The thinness of the handle is a big issue for a lot of people, and it's not just me that thinks that. Look at all the reviews on all the manufacturer websites. They say it over and over and over again, the handle scales are thin. So get the aftermarket ones that are a bit thicker, put them on this, and you'll save yourself somewhere in the realm of 100 to 80 to $100. Then you could take your significant other out to a nice dinner so that she doesn't realize that you went and, you know, spent a couple $100 on a knife. Do something nice for your family, do something else nice for yourself, but save yourself that money because you can get a full titanium with 3V Demco 80/20.5 without spending $325. Just got to install it yourself, and it's not too terribly difficult. All right, so I've been ignoring my chat. I got to catch up on that. Rollshambo the Star Wars Limited Gold Edition should be in your hand. Let me know if not. I believe this is it. And forgive me, I did not know that this was the limited gold edition. I read here on the side it said Powers of the Dark Side. And I'm really excited to open these up. I play cribbage with my wife. She's a much better cribbage player than I am. She destroys me most of the time. But every now and then I win. And when I do, I have bragging rights for days. It's wonderful. And so I'm looking forward to winning a game of cribbage with these cards. Oreo Dave, you have no idea how excited I am to bust these open and play some cribbage with these cards. Mason Wise says, I got the carbon fiber and 3V variant. And I couldn't be happier with it. Great, man. Listen, I have my opinions. The guy next door has their opinions. Other reviewers have their opinions. But as long as you're happy, you're the one that earns those dollars. When you spend your money, your opinion is what's most important. For me, I'm a whore for titanium. I don't want to spend $325 to get there. And if I did, I'd want thicker handle scales. That's just me. If you're okay with the thinner handle scales, perfect. For some people, that's better because it's more carry friendly in the pocket. For me, I don't get as good of a grip on it, and it could just be due to the size of my hands. See, my hands aren't necessarily super big. They're just wide, and I've got these sausage fingers. So I like bigger handle scales, thicker handle scales. Got to have some girthiness to it, right? Like, for example, my hand fits very comfortably around this Thunrar. This is a honking piece of steel and titanium. There's a lot of people that say that they just don't like a knife this big because it's too big in their hand and it's not comfortable to them. To me, it's very comfortable. I like big knives. I like thicker handle scales. Freedom Fox 1 says, how's Demco's serrations? I don't know. I have two Demco knives. I've got this guy, which is the Cold Steel 8015 designed by Andrew Demco. And then I've got the 80 20.5, which I will modify one of these days. Every time I get close, I become angry that I spent $150 on it and I'm about to spend another 100 or so to make it the way that I felt like it should have been in the first place. And so back in the drawer it goes. But I will be modifying my 80 20.5 here. But Cold Steel 8015, same price as the 20.5, but instead of Oz 10, you get S35 VN. Instead of Griver, you get G10 and aluminum for that yoke. Love the AD15. It's too big of a carry for a lot of people, but for me, I have no problem. I think this makes a great camping knife. Big fan of this one. Mason Wise says it's a little less, $270. Good to know. I believe he's referencing the carbon fiber one, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, because the carbon fiber one is $225 for the carbon fiber and the 3V. That's not too terrible in my opinion. Carbon fiber is every bit of a premium material as titanium. It's just lighter. So I don't know if he was referencing this one or not, but I do agree. I think that this one is a lot more value friendly, personally. It's on special because it was $265, but we don't trust MSRP. Don't buy knives at MSRP. If you're at a retailer that sells it to you at MSRP, I guarantee you can get it for cheaper. But it's on special for $225. That's not a half bad deal, and that's the blade shape that I would like personally. All right, we got Brian. Brian says, have you heard about the Manix 2 and 15V hype? It's a triple B collab. I didn't know that. But we actually did touch on that. That's the one with the brown G10. The city worker's delight, because if they have to go into the sewer, it'll fit right in. I don't like brown G10, but I'm really interested in hearing about how that 15V performs. According to others in the chat, it sold out in seconds. And I believe that because if you don't like brown G10, you just swap out the scales anyways. I've done that on a couple of my Spydercos. For those who haven't seen it yet, one of my favorite EDCs is my fully customized and modified Spyderco Para 3 in full titanium hardware, backspacer, pocket clip, and it's got the only thing on here that isn't titanium is the blade, which is S45VN, and this 5x5 Combat Solutions pickpocket, which is super useful if you want your blade to be deployed and ready when you pull it out of your pocket. Love this knife. But this is an example of just how far you can modify a Spyderco, which is insanity. People look at this knife and they ask me, is it even a Spyderco anymore? I think so. Honestly, it doesn't really matter because I like it. That's what matters. But this is one of my favorite EDC knives. And it's an example. If you don't like brown G10, don't base whether you buy the knife off it or not. If you really want to check out 15V, you got to get in on those sprint runs because they're not going to put it in a regular production knife. It's going to be in sprint runs. I'd be willing to bet they put it on a paramilitary 2 next. I hope so. That would be one I'd be interested in. K Mason says, did you sell your customized Yojimbo? I did not. I still have it. And it's probably because I was asking about $250 for this guy. This is my other highly modified and customized Spyderco. It's the Yojimbo 2 full titanium scales pocket clip. Also have a 5x5 Combat Solutions pickpocket on there for the same reason. Not for self-defense, but because I like having my knife already deployed when I pull it out of my pocket. If I'm doing everything one-handed, it just makes it a much simpler process. If I'm holding something else and having to, cut a box or whatever, it's really useful. And yeah, I still have this one. I was looking to sell it so that I could get in on the Sparrow Knife Company's production Strix, which unfortunately I did miss. I looked to sell multiple knives and it just wasn't in the cards. And you know what? Sometimes that's okay, because I always tell people, if you miss out on a drop, if you miss out on a limited production run, it's okay. The best thing about the knife community is that there is always more coming. I guarantee you in 2 months, there will be some other new hotness that's limited that everyone's going to be crazy about. And you'll be thinking, you know what? I missed out on that other thing. But this thing is now out. We have community ADD. It's insanity is what it is. But it's also one of my favorite things about the knife world is that there's always more updates. So if it's not this one, it's the next one. Got to put these back. I got way too many knives out on my desk. And by the way, for those of you who haven't seen it, keep your eyes peeled for a video on this fully custom Sean O'Connell mini Persian. Full custom. The first full custom that I've ever had on my channel. I'm really looking forward to talking about it. Tori Casey says, I'm a micarta hoe. You know what? I really like micarta, but it has to be done right. There is some manufacturers out there that don't do micarta right. One of the knives that I was really impressed with the micarta was this guy. I actually just finished up my Grailer garbage video on it. All I've got to do now is edit it and put it out there. This is the Best Tech Loch Ness, designed by Morgan Cohens of Cohen's Craft, and he did a phenomenal job. What blows people away is they see this micarta and they're like $314 because we assign these values based on the materials, but what they don't realize is that it's a full titanium frame, and the micarta is an overlay that goes over the top of that titanium frame. M390, and it's a lot of M390, a lot of titanium, and a lot of micarta, and they did such a good job. I can tell that they meant for this to be a user. Nessmuck style blade, Alaskan skinning knife, basically. I did not expect to like this one as much as I did. And if you like micarta, check out the Loch Ness. They also make one with the G10 overlay, but don't do that. Do the micarta. Trust me. That's the one you want to go with if you get the Loch Ness. Oreo Dave says, broken heart, but you really wanted that Strix. I think about it every day. But I'll tell you what, I'm learning to not have attachment issues. And sometimes it's important to just understand when it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And who knows, maybe I'll get a hold of one in a pass round. Maybe one of you guys got one. By the way, if you have a knife that you want me to review, you want me to check out, shoot me an email. That's what it's there for. And let me know, and we will work it out. If you want me to do a grail or garbage ranking on your knife, hit me up. Goner Rice says, did you see that Arcane is doing an affordable line of knives with the $200 price point? Have you heard or seen anything about those knives? Yes. Yes, I have. So they actually, I think they've already released one. They did a pre-order, and I think they already did a drop, and I think it's sold out. Where is it? It is the Praetheon? It's the Praetheon. I'm pretty positive that's what it is. Yeah, this guy. the Arcane design company Praytheon. And this one has all the elements that a true enthusiast would really enjoy. You know, you get the thumb stud, you get the design risks. The materials for me, like I'm not huge on Jade G10 personally, but I like the blade shape. They do have more expensive options. They took the design risks. And if you like Arcane designs, this is definitely a good one to keep an eye on. I would not mind getting my hands on one of these. You can get them in G10 or in titanium. If you want to bump that up, you can get it in S35 VN or 20 CV. You can get it with, well, you can only get it in a drop point. They use caged bearings, but he doesn't mention, are those ceramic bearings or are those steel bearings? I would prefer ceramic bearings. If you go with the Damasteel titanium, it's $640. That's not cheaper. If you go with the 20 CV in titanium, it's $350, which is still expensive, but a lot easier to swallow than $640. And if you want to go with the much more attainable price of $190, you'll get the G10 with the S35 VN. And for a lot of people, that one's going to be the one. If you like G10 and you like S35 VN, which I think that those materials are great. And for this design language with those materials, I think $190 is a great price. Personal opinion. I also tend to think that this Damasteel is just sexy. It's a crazy zebra looking blade, but that is sexy. I would rock that. As it stands, I only have one Arcane design company's knife, and that's this guy. This is the Arcane Plexus. Love this knife. But guys, we're sitting at about an hour and a half, and it's time to do the final giveaway. The final giveaway knife. And if you haven't done so yet, again, click the link in the description. Go over to the video, drop a comment, any comment as long as it's appropriate, and you are entered to win. Now, I wanted to do something for the first place prize. I wanted to do something that was not just, a bump up in price, but also in availability. So the very first place prize is going to be the C. Risner Titanium Penguin with jig titanium handle scales. These are currently sold out. You can get other versions of this, but you cannot get this one. Will they do another run? I have no idea. Traditional pocket knives did this knife. This is M390 with jigged titanium. So it doesn't matter what it costs because you can't go out and buy one brand new. It's a really good knife, really great action, and when you could buy it, it was about $125. To get these levels of materials, this level of design, I heard that the jigged pattern on the handle scales was actually a pattern personally designed by Austin from Traditional Pocket Knives. It's his jig design. So it's a true exclusive. And we don't know if they're going to do another one of these or not. So who knows? This could be your last chance to get one. The availability isn't out there. The exclusivity is. And I think that this is a hell of a knife for a first place to cap off our night for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So this is your last chance. I'm going to give it another minute or so because the battery on my camera is dying and I don't want to cut out on the live stream. I don't normally run my lives this long due to battery power on my camera. Mike Reese says, I hate those three Vostids. I have those three Vostids too, all excellent. Tori Casey says the Towser linen is really good. Good to know. All right, everybody, it's time. We're going to refresh. We're going to refresh the video, refresh the link. We're going to go to YouTube comment picker, refresh the page. We'll do that a couple times. And now we're going to pull the first place winner for the traditional traditional pocket knives, exclusive QSP Penguin and M390 and Jig Titanium, which will come with an exclusive Rollshambo channel sticker. And also, everybody, just so you know, I will be doing more giveaways in the future, and hopefully they're better planned out than this one. This one, again, took me by surprise. Next time I aim to get more knives, better knives, just to have and increase the fun, because it's fun when I hit these milestones, and it's a great way to say thank you to the community. So with all that being said, it's time. We've copied and pasted in our link. Filter duplicate users, include replies. 4 + 5 is 9. My elementary math teacher would be very happy. 84 comments. Let's go. 1 in 84 chance. It's not bad. And the first place prize goes to the enforcer himself, Top Dog. He says, well, I missed the live, but I'm here now. Almost 1K. Predict you will make it before mid-December. You weren't wrong. I did make it before mid-December. Top Dog has been a supporter of the channel for a long time. It's why I made him a moderator. Thank you so much for sticking with the channel, for sticking with the live, for showing the support. You, my friend, have 7 days to claim your QSP Penguin and, more importantly, your exclusive holographic channel sticker. Shoot me an email. I know you got it. You've sent me emails before. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the road to 1,000 subscribers is over. It took me half the time to get there. We sped past all the speed limit signs without getting a speeding ticket. But it doesn't stop there, because I'm not satisfied with just 1,000. I want to take this as mainstream as possible. I want to build our community, because I enjoy making content to discuss my favorite hobby with you. So while the road to 1,000 subscribers has come to an end, the road to 100,000 has just begun. To all of you who have stuck around through the entire live stream, thank you so much for all your love and support that you've shown me, for sending me your knives, for commenting, for subscribing, for interacting. You truly do make this hobby extremely enjoyable. That's the real prize. It's not a donation. It's not monetizing a channel. It's all the best things that I get from having a community to enjoy this with. So thank you for that. My night is coming to an end, however. So I wanted to say thank you one more time. I will be going live again a week from today, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. The same schedule never changed. It turns out that this is just the time that we're going live. In the meantime, I've got some great content coming out soon. Make sure you stay tuned for the videos on the custom Eric Luther Orphan, as well as the super hard to get your hands on Sean O'Connell Mini Persian. These are ones that you're definitely not going to want to miss. Other than that, my friends, you have a good night. I'll catch you on the flip side.